You don't think that all of these successful people don't have a plan B? And maybe what they're doing right now is their plan B or even their plan C? Listen, having a plan B is not just a backup plan. What if it's actually the most empowered and self-respect, emotional intelligent things you can do? And what if it's the greatest act of emotional security you can ever give yourself? So, why do we fear a plan B? We often tell ourselves, if I really believed in myself, then I wouldn't need a backup plan. Isn't that true? But the thing is, that's not about belief. And frankly, that puts a lot of pressure on you. That puts a pressure on this has to work, this needs to work. And don't you know the law of the universe for my spiritual junkies? The more you force something, the more you have desperate, needy energy, is the more you repel it. And often this energy is what keeps people broken, bitter, and burnt out because they need this to work. There's no other way. No other way this has to work. Can't you see how that can really fuck with somebody's mentality? And once you have a plan B, it doesn't mean you're giving up on your dreams. It means you're giving yourself space to grow and flow. And having a plan B, it just means you love yourself enough to create space for it to thrive without desperation. And here's an esoteric thought for you. What if your plan B was a part of your plan A? Plan A didn't fail. It just means you're the type of person who knows how to land on their feet. That's not weakness, and that's just called wisdom. In order for you to be open to the idea of having a plan B, you need to name the fear behind why it scares you so much. So think about it. Name that fear. Really go into it. And see what exactly it is that you're afraid of. And most people will say, well, plan A made me feel certain, and plan B, it makes us question ourselves. But the truth is, plan B doesn't mean you were wrong. It means you're evolving, and when you evolve, your path does too. And that brings me back to the esoteric quote I just said to you about how maybe it's just a part of what you need to do for your plan A. So yes, name the fear and how to break its grip. And most of the time we'll realize it's not fear, it's just a story we never questioned behind it. Now here is exactly what I mean about you being empowered. Okay, so now you know the fear, and what can you do next with it? Oh, Nadia, I've listed all these fears, It's not making me feel any better about it, Nadia. Well, here's the thing. Once you know what the fear is, you can choose your response. That's simple now. You can choose your response and not react from survival, but respond from awareness. And it's about stepping into your consciousness, which I always talk about. Consciousness is key because you win at life. And that's another video I want to make, is about how self-awareness is actually winning at life, because once you're aware of the patterns that around you and especially in you, you're more open to seeing how you can not fix it. We don't say we want to fix anything. It's more about reframing things and just how do we respond to it that it's going to work for us in the end. And that's emotional alchemy. And sometimes fear doesn't just disappear. We just stop letting it drive our lives to the grave, into this rat race, into this matrix. Because you're self-aware, you can do something about it. So what I'm asking you to do here, by naming your fear, reprogramming your response to it, is that you make space for the question, what do I do if the worst scenario actually happened And what you'll find is it's not so scary when you have a plan, okay? Because that's when you begin to reclaim who you are beyond the outcome, beyond the goal, beyond the plan A. You are meeting the fear. And next, you begin to rebuild your identity without tying it to how life should have gone, right? We could see so many people and examples of how they literally just deplete themselves because one thing didn't go right. And in their eyes, the universe didn't do it what I wanted. Like, no, sometimes we can't control the outcomes. That's just the way it is. But you can always control your reactions, and that's what you're trying to learn in this damn video, right? That's one of the things. And so now you're just kind of like rebuilding your identity to, what if the outcome actually doesn't happen? You know, like, what else can I do instead that will bring me back to my purpose, will bring me back to my goal, will bring me back to my center? I have a really good example for this. So think about it. I have a lot of people in my carpentry class who are in their late 20s, early 30s, who used to have an office job, who either they just got burnt out, tired, resented the office, or they got laid off and they had to be forced to go to a new direction. But hey, they picked carpentry. That's a whole 180. That's completely out of their comfort zone. Or maybe it's something that they had at the back of their mind that they thought, well, if this flops, maybe I'll get into a skilled trade. So think about that. These people are literally now switching their career to start building things with their bare hands. And sometimes we need to uproot everything just to untangle the roots and then have space to grow once again. So Nadia, I listed all my fears. It's just making things worse. It's giving me more anxiety. Now what am I gonna do? What you gonna do is figure out what you're gonna do, okay? What you're gonna do. What different paths are you gonna take if this were to happen? And it's more about what paths are you gonna take and options to get you back on your feet, to get you back to center again, and to get you back to the purpose of everything. Get you back to you, your routine, and what you need. And like I said, having a plan B doesn't mean your plan A failed. It's being smart, guys. It literally is being smart. Like I said from the beginning of the video, the most successful people definitely have a plan B, an eject button, what they are gonna do. And all it's doing is giving you space to create without having that tremendous amount of pressure on yourself. So yeah, maybe plan B isn't a detour. Maybe it's the very path that strengthens you, humbles you, stretches you, so that when plan A finally is ready to be created, you're actually ready for it, and you can actually meet it with all of your heart, all of your energy, all of who you are. So stop seeing plan B as the end of something, guys. Start seeing it as your deeper alignment, and trust this, your dream is still alive. It is. You wouldn't let it die. You're just being smart. That's really all it is, guys. You're just being smart, and it's just shape-shifting so you can evolve with it. So I hope that analogy kind of helps you with this whole video idea about how having a plan B is actually the most smartest, successful things you can do for yourself. I hope this helps you see things differently, and stick around because there's gonna be more videos like this with interesting esoteric thoughts. And once again, my name is Nadia. Please like and subscribe because you know how that works. Peace.